Hello and welcome in to Smoking Hot Takes. We finally watched the Philadelphia and Dallas Empires crumble in on themselves. CJ Stroud and Baker Mayfield showed us that no spotlight is too big for them. And I think the Packers just found their next bad man in Jordan Love. Look away, Bears fans. We are going to give you our playoff recap, predictions, and spicy hot takes for the upcoming playoff divisionals. Let's get smoking.
Smoking. Did you just say the Packers found their Batman?
Their bad man. Next bad man.
Man.
Aaron Rodgers is the bad man. He could be the Batman. The love Batman. The love man. Well, first of all, welcome in to Smoking Hot Takes. I got Coop here with me.
Yo.
And KDawg. Woof woof. So, how was your guys' weekend of football?
Good. Great for us, I feel like.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed personally. But there were some good games. I can appreciate that, but obviously a certain one didn't go my way.
Yeah. It was tough to watch.
Yes. One of the worst games.
A lot
in a
of
long
tough
time.
games to watch this weekend. A lot of blowouts. Like I feel like the only close game that we really had was Rams-Lions, and all of the other ones were like you kind of knew which way it was going to go within like the first quarter or two. You know, it wasn't really like everything else was just kind of like woof, like this is looking ugly for X team.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect that at all, to be honest. I thought they would be all good games.
Yeah, it's surprising.
So-
Like the Buccaneers, Eagles, Brown Texans, and of course the Cowboys game. Surprising that those weren't closer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm a little worried that this coming week we might have a lot of blowouts too. So
Yeah, and I have something to
it's
say
a
about
closer
that.
week.
You know,
There's just some heavy favorites. There's like three
Yeah.
6+ point favorites, I think.
Yeah, I actually don't think I'm honestly on the side of there not being big blowouts. I think there's like somehow like the Texans are going to give the Ravens a close game, and same with some of the other teams. So I think this is going to be good football to watch.
Coop was saying something similar. We'll have to,
Yeah,
get into.
I'll have to agree with you there.
Yeah, they put some money on the spreads here.
Maybe.
Sounds like free money, according to you guys.
I don't know.
We'll have to wait. For
I'll leave that to
Blocks.
C-Dubs for sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. C-Dubs might have a tough episode this week, given his recap.
Oh man. Yeah, true.
All right. Well, you can follow, like, subscribe on Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everything else, all the social media platforms. Check us out.
Right.
Podcasts are now releasing on YouTube just automatically. It's exciting. Big news there. So I don't have to upload a video. Just goes onto YouTube by itself. So that's fun for all you YouTube listeners out there. I know you guys are. Yeah. And then I guess just check out all the fun stuff we've been doing on Instagram. Coop had some really cool graphics that he did this past weekend. That
go like that
honestly
shit,
should have
man.
got more love than they did.
Thanks.
And then
Appreciate that.
check out if you want to go laugh more at the Cowboys. Check out the meme fest that happened on
Oh no, dude!
on Sunday.
Dude, we were just taking it out on the Cowboys, man. I'm glad KDawg doesn't have a Twitter because we were just having our way with.
I'll have to
with
take
you
a
guys,
look
man.
at that. You know,
Like a priest.
there's always there seems to always be one day a year where I'm forced to just cut off communication from the internet and just not look at anything. And Sunday was one of those days.
Yeah,
I feel like we probably had a new meme coming up every 5 minutes.
yeah. I couldn't stop.
It was
myself.
crazy.
I was just trying out new formats too. I was like, I wonder if this will hit. I wonder, it was just a great time to be out there.
Yeah.
Like meme culture was changed that night. Crazy.
Meme culture was changed.
Yeah.
For a few cowboy memes.
That's
I'll
right.
have to take a look. I mean,
No, because
really hyping it
remember when you when I posted one on Instagram? Did you see that?
Yes, and then KDawg messaged us. He said one more of these and I'm unfollowing or something like that.
One more of these, you're never gonna see me again.
I think every new story needs like a sign off from all three of us.
I know. Sometimes I do.
I would have vetoed a lot of these tweets, I think.
But I mean, you have to. We got to be an unbiased.
No, I know.
If the Seahawks, if that happened to the Seahawks,
Unleash the Seahawks memes.
I would expect you to like destroy us.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, fellas, let's do our Smoking Hot Takes recap for the week.
You want to go first or last?
I'll go first because mine was pretty damn close. If you
I
didn't
thought
know
you'd want to
already.
save that for last.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I think I was probably the closest. I don't even know what your guys' was, and I think mine was the closest. So I called for Baker Mayfield last night to throw 4 passing touchdowns. He got 3. And 350 plus yards. He had 337 yards. And then I also specified 1 to Evans, Godwin, and Rachaad White. I know he got 1 to Godwin, but then 2 more snuck into David Moore and some other bum that I don't remember. So it wasn't really like the Evans and Godwin show. It was like really splitting the ball
Trey Palmer,
around.
baby.
Trey Palmer, there you go. And then, and funny enough, KDawg was the leading receiver for that game. So I was inches from getting that. But honestly, are we surprised? No, because Bakey is he's just that dude in the spotlight. Get him in the wild card. He should be a starting QB for the next 3 years on an NFL roster.
How about 5 years?
Sure, that was
Yeah.
the choice.
Maybe 10?
Maybe 10.
Are we pushing
Get him
10
a-
now?
Get him a 3-year deal.
Is he a Hall of Famer now? Because you almost think he called a Smoking Hot Take there?
You know, if he didn't have that stupid Browns organization that drafted him, I think he could be a Hall of Famer.
Okay, buddy.
Well, just
Hold on here.
think about no, I'm obviously joking, but think about how many players
Are you?
get drafted to horrible organizations that just absolutely kill their careers when they probably could have done a lot better if they got drafted to
I agree.
an organization that actually like promoted their play or worked
Yeah.
around them instead of try to fit them into a mold.
Yeah. I also think about all the players that never got their chance, to be honest. You know? Could have turned out to beat somebody.
Are you talking about
Like
yourself?
ones that
Or
were
just
drafted,
like weren't drafted or something. And they just kinda like
Or just didn't try
could
to
have been
didn't try out
something
for the
crazy.
college team.
Yeah, or just something, someone along the way that just fell off the
I'm
path.
sure there's some out there that didn't
Yeah.
get a chance but would have
Yeah, there's
succeeded. I mean, you
yeah,
see a
I
lot of
think there's some-
undrafted or late round players.
right?
especially guys that are like 6'8", 220. Yeah, that could be a
That's
good tight
right.
end.
The league is lacking great tight ends right
That's
now.
right.
So
Wish I
Now,
knew- I
honestly,
wish I
that's
knew
like
those guys.
that's like the one thing it's not lacking. Great
well,
tight
there's
ends.
not like stars. There's not a lot of stars.
Tight ends.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All the top guys right now are going crazy.
Well,
Kelsey, Mandrews. I mean,
Kelsey's not
they're not
going
like
crazy.
Chelsea's doing okay.
they're not like that popular. Is that what you're saying? They're
No,
not
I'm
like a
just
star
saying, like-
receiver.
Like you could name 10 star receivers easily. Obviously,
I can
there's
name
more.
10 tight ends right now.
None of
that
them
went
none
off.
of them measure up to some other places.
Well-
I'm talking like there's a lot of like B guys, but I don't think there's a lot of A guys beyond like
I think this
Kelsey,
year was like
Mark Andrews.
one of the richest like crop, group
If
of
you're
them.
talking in terms of fantasy, yeah, but
Just in general, I mean, how many this playoff weekend? There's I think Schultz had one, Ferguson,
Yeah.
like all the tight ends have been going.
I mean,
off
Ferguson
lately.
had 3, and he had a really good year, but like I wouldn't call it. He's not a star player. He's just a
Dalton Kincaid had a tutty.
replaceable.
think
Dawson Knox had a
had one.
tutty. Like
yeah.
you don't see 2 tight ends getting a touchdown in the same game in a long time.
Freiermuth was the leading receiver for
I
the
mean,
Steelers.
There you
And
go.
K-Dawg
Tight ends, baby.
Tyler
K-Dawg
Higbee.
was the leader for the
Higbee.
Buccaneers, and
That's what I'm
Ferguson
saying.
was probably the leader for the Cowboys. You
Exactly.
guys stand corrected.
Thank
This
you.
was a
Thank
big
you.
week of tight ends, but I still
Our
stand
boys
by.
need credit.
There's not. a lot of
Higbee got
stars.
his ACL
So-
torn, bro. This has been a big weekend for tight ends. That sucked.
All right.
Oh, well.
Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go next. So I had Josh Allen having 2 touchdowns to the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and 2 interceptions. He did have 4 touchdowns, but he had 3 in the air, 1 on the ground. No picks. So he outplayed my
Clean
projection of him, So that's he had a good game. I can't say anything
Yeah.
about that,
Yeah, you were on it with the good game. Well, I guess you did call it 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
So you're calling for kind of a up and down game, but
I'd say I was probably closer
played
than
great.
Prophet J, though, if you think about it.
no.
Yours is also easier to say.
No, you're just to go with that. It's a joke.
Oh, I actually thought you were advocating for something.
No.
I mean yours was decent though, for sure.
No, his was closer.
It's
It's not Tyreek Hill 40 yards close.
well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I think mine's closer.
All right, what was yours,
All right.
K-Dawg?
Well, speaking of close, I picked the Eagles to beat the Buccaneers by 17 points.
Oh, no.
If you remember, they were 3-point favorites. I mean, they were
Oh no.
a 10-1 team at one time. I thought maybe they'd find their legs here. But yeah, I mean, they got blown. What, they lose by 23.
Yeah.
They got blown out. They look terrible. The Eagles have had one of the worst collapses we've ever seen. Like it just doesn't. I don't even know where they go from here. It just doesn't make any sense. But
Sounds like they're firing Nick Sirianni. That's the headlines in Philadelphia and Rumorville.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is kind
well,
of surprising to me.
I don't know. Short leash, I guess.
I mean, if you remember, they fired Doug Peterson. What, the year? I think he had 1 year after he won the Super Bowl,
That's
and then
true.
they fired him. So it's kind of
Wow, it's on track.
he's right on track. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't think I think they got to give him another chance. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand what happened to them. It doesn't make any
I think
sense.
they lost a couple good coordinators,
Yeah,
offense, defense, and then the guys that just came in
Yeah,
and
but-
replaced them just couldn't do it.
I mean, but they were 10-1 to start the year, though. Like till, I mean, it was just not. And granted, they did get lucky in some of those games, but it's just night and day.
Yeah.
With
So
how they
what-
ended the season.
I think what happened, and this is I saw I'll give a little credit to Reddit. I saw this on Reddit today too. When the 49ers put the schlacken on the Eagles, it was Nick Bosa who came out and said, "Oh yeah, we put out the blueprint to how to play the Eagles."
Ah,
And it was basically like if he doesn't throw like right away, he's just looking to run, like just taking the ball, putting the ball down, and just looking to run anywhere. And so
yeah.
they said just basically need to spy him and just kind of be really good about not leaving that post to then cover him. And that's apparently that's kind of what worked. And so that's why the Seahawks beat them, and then everyone else just
Jeez.
dumpstered
Sounds
the
like
Eagles. And then obviously, and then they got super injured. So
Yeah, I mean, their defense is terrible.
sounds like even you could have been out there and beaten them.
I think
That's
so.
how easy this
Yeah.
blueprint is.
I think so. I think I could have played better than Jalen Hurts, or I could have tackled him and been the spy to get him. Yeah. So.
Very cool. Can't wait to
Kind
see
of
our
embarrassing.
combine times and stuff.
And also, the other big
season.
thing that I think that goes unnoticed is Shane Steichen, who is the Colts head coach, was the offensive coordinator for the
That's
Eagles.
right.
And so we maybe see a little bit of or saw a little bit of a dip in their offensive powers just without Steichen there.
Yeah, and who's the Cardinals coach?
Glennon.
Yeah, he was the DC there.
Yeah,
so-
I was gonna ask. I forget what happened to him, but
yeah.
yeah, defense is terrible. I mean, Baker Mayfield carved them up.
Trash.
Give credit to the Buccaneers, though. I mean,
Yeah, they're good.
like
Bakey went off.
I think a lot of people did expect them to upset here, but no one. I don't know if people expected them to blow them out like
No.
this. So
No.
give them credit. Yeah, Eagles made me feel a tiny bit better after Sunday.
Well, cool. I think we just talked about 3 of the games, so we can move on to the other ones.
Yeah, let's jump in. Let's do Texans Browns first because that was our first.
Man, what a
game
fun game.
Saturday. I mean, good lord, none of us expect.
No.
Or no, did KDawg? Did you call the Texans on this one?
No, I
No,
called
nobody.
the Browns. I mean, I had the Browns going to the AFC Championship along with
Which
you.
why? Yeah, yeah, that's right. We both did. Which KDawg texted us during the game. He's like, I feel like we should have seen this coming. And you're right, because I totally forgot that when they played each other like 3 weeks ago, that it wasn't CJ Stroud on the Texans side. It was Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Or who's the other guy that they have?
It was
Yeah,
Davis
back
Mills.
maybe.
It was Davis Mills.
And
Um,
dude, Stroud just looked unstoppable this game. Just bombing it left and right to Nico Collins, Schultz.
yeah. It's funny, even the throws he was just like thrown away. Seemed to find Nico Collins.
Hmm.
I just remember a couple of those.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like how I went into this game, I was saying that speaking about CJ Stroud, we were saying that the Texans offense lost a little bit of their firepower with, what's his name going down?
Tinko.
Tankdale, I was making on the name with him going down, but you had a lot of guys step up this game.
Yeah.
A lot of young players. Their tight end, I forget his name.
Schultz.
No, the other one, like the
Brevin Jordan.
Brevin Jordan. Yeah. Their offense just looked great against. Let's not forget a number 1 Browns defense.
Yeah.
I don't know. The reason I said we should have seen this coming, I'm like, we were so high on the Browns, but looking back on it, I feel like I just fell into like I almost wanted them to be good.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they merited all the praise we gave them. Not to say they weren't a good team, but yeah, I mean they fell way short. I mean, Joe Flacco throwing 2 pick sixes in a row, that really sealed the deal.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That
was nuts.
Yeah, I mean the Browns, they jumped out 14-0 and then 14-10 and then the Texans scored 35 unanswered. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. I feel like I should just go into this now. It's relevant.
Okay.
So I was on TikTok because we posted a little prophecy that
Oh God.
somebody had about this game, and we got a little comment on there saying that. Well, I had said that they looked pretty good, the Browns, because this guy said, "Hey, they're 11-6, and they're 25% of the roster was already injured." And I said, "Yeah, they looked so good against these Texans, huh?" And he said, "I don't take anything back, which is great." And then he said, "What's your team, little bro?" And I said, "Bro, chill. I was just teasing. My guys are the Seahawks." And I said, "I know we were cheeks this season, so don't be clowning on me. But now that we're changing coaches, it's gonna be fun." But anyways, I ended up asking him if he thought how good Deshaun Watson would be on this team, because he ended up getting hurt, and he said he'd been pretty good. The last time he played, he went 14 for 14 second half. You know what I mean?
What about all the other games before that?
Wow.
Well, he said he was 8-4 as
Crazy he did that for
a
the first
starter,
game,
bro.
for one game.
Yeah, well, shit, Flacco was, what, 4-2 or something?
Anyways, he said it still would have been clapped because CJ Stroud is a dog, because he is.
Yeah. That's quite the conversation. Are you guys kind of friends now?
Dude, he never followed me.
Wow.
He should have.
Well, if you're listening, what's his name? What do we call
King
this
J.
guy? King J.
Prophet J was already there. Prophet J was already
Weird.
That was my burner.
Him supporting Deshaun Watson, we never would have seen that coming. So it would have been a good cover for sure.
And then Prophet J was like, "Sean Watson's cheeks, bro."
Yeah, I just don't stand up for that kind of stuff. It sucks. So I'm not afraid to make my opinion known, as everyone here. So yeah, I mean, Browns, I think, to even make it to the wild card, like that's a win for them, especially after losing Deshaun. But yeah, I think it would have been fun to see them take on the Ravens. Granted, I don't think I could say that I would think they'd beat the Ravens after watching them get their asses handed to them by the Texans. But regardless, you know what? They put up a fair shot, and then
well, what I didn't realize going into this game, I guess they were actually really bad on the road, the Browns. So
probably should have looked into that.
I know if we had looked a little bit deeper, I think we would have found that split.
I was gonna say too, like now that the Brown season is over, like yes, you got to feel good. You made the playoffs this year. You started 4 different starting quarterbacks. They lose Nick Chubb earlier in the year, so I mean, obviously they have a really good team, really well coached, but at the same time, they need a quarterback. Like Joe Flacco is just a band-aid. We're not high on Deshaun Watson. Like if you're gonna compete for a Super Bowl, they're kind of in a weird place right now where they're not gonna have a high draft pick, but they need a quarterback. So it'll be interesting what they do.
I think Deshaun will be fun.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, I don't think he's the long-term solution.
I mean, they paid him $250 million.
I know, but you gotta. Well, Russell Wilson got paid a bunch too, but you gotta move on with.
All right,
sunk cost.
Fallacy.
We got another game.
All right, you guys want to move on? Let's talk about Chiefs Dolphins.
Ooh,
yeah, Chiefs,
the Ice
Dolphins,
Bowl.
26 Chiefs to the 7 Dolphins in the Ice Bowl. How about Andy Reid's mustache, huh? That was something to.
Yeah, it was kind of gross.
Yeah,
all the the snot and the nastiness just frozen. It's like
I'd like to see
his mustache.
I'd like to see Andy Reid without a mustache. I think he's had his mustache.
Damn, that'd be weird.
As long as
I've known him.
Yeah. But yeah, he looks ridiculous out there. I can't imagine being at that game.
I wouldn't want to. No wonder the Dolphins lost.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're so used to probably playing in the warm.
Right.
I mean, that's the narrative going into it, and it proved to be true, I think.
Yeah, I thought this game was funny that it's like you said. It's like exact like everything that we thought would happen did happen. Like we thought the Dolphins couldn't compete, and that's exactly wouldn't show up, and that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you guys think about Tua? Like, do you think Tua's like the franchise QB here? Because
no, I mean
the way he was looking during this game, it was not. It doesn't look like he's the guy to do it in Miami. Like, was Brian Flores right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we kind of alluded to this last week. We were like, well, he's not really good enough to get you far, but he's like not bad enough to get rid of.
Yeah,
maybe it's just time. Go somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract situation is either. I don't know how many years he has left, but I saw a stat that in last year's wildcard game when Tua was hurt, Skylar Thompson had more pass yards than Tua did in this game. Wow. Which is
oh my god,
makes him seem bad. It is a little unfair. I mean, you gotta the conditions were tough. That being said, I mean the Chiefs managed to still score 26, and I think the Chiefs I'm feeling kind of high on the Chiefs after this one, honestly. I'll get into that later, but I think they look really good. I think the offense, they've got it all figured out. 'Cause you got Rashee Rice had a huge game, which opened up Travis Kelce more. He had, I think, 70 yards. Then Isaiah Pacheco looks really good too.
Yeah,
And
he
then you
did.
have the best quarterback in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes.
Is he though?
I think so.
I have
I think
disagreeing words.
Prof would say Lamar is.
That's
Yeah.
true. Right? He's been pretty adamant about that. But no, to me it's easily Patrick Mahomes, especially with given all the playoff experience he
I don't know.
has.
Jordan Love's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Jordan Love is looking he's looking all right. Yeah.
I would give it to Baker if you wanted to go off performances from last week. But sure, we can go with Jordan Love. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, KDawg. I love what the Chiefs are doing. Like Rashee Rice, like they just need to feed the ball to that dude because he's the only one that's got hands.
Yeah.
On that receiving core. I mean, like you look at the distribution from like the rest of the wide receivers, and nobody else got the ball.
Yeah, and Kadarius Toney was inactive this game. Look what happens when he's not playing.
No picks, no interceptions.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I would just sit him. I would see no reason in bringing him back.
They'll probably bring him back in the Super Bowl to do like a trick play.
Didn't he have a touchdown last year? Didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, he blew up in the. He blew up in the Super Bowl last year. So maybe he's just like one of those guys who gets the Super Bowl and then they're like actually really good.
Maybe, yeah.
So they'll go to Buffalo for next week, and that will be a fun one. I think is it still gonna be snowy? I don't know. We gotta check the weather reports to see what that's gonna look like. Any more you guys want to say about this one?
No.
All right, KDawg, do you want to kick us off this next one?
How about I do this first?
Sure.
Oh no.
I don't even deserve that.
Okay, fine. How about this one? Take it away, KDawg.
I mean, that last one sums it up very well. The Cowboys were an absolute joke this game. I've never felt as good going into a playoff game as I did this one, I'll be honest.
Oh, really?
Like I felt the Cowboys, I didn't have much to worry about. I had talked about last pod on how I think the Cowboys have the easiest path to the championship game that they've had in a long time. And they just completely squandered it. They got outplayed in every facet. It's hard to even pick a player that did well on the Cowboys. Maybe Jake Ferguson in garbage time, but literally everybody didn't show up. And on the flip side, the Packers, Jordan Love looked amazing. Aaron Jones had more touchdowns this game than he had the entire season.
Jesus.
Jordan Love had a almost perfect quarterback rating. No turnovers. Yeah, it's just it's just a mess, and it's just like I don't know where the Cowboys go from here. They had a great regular season, great individual performances. I mean, Dak was a top 3 quarterback, CD top 3 wide receiver, had a bunch of all-pro players. Their defense was great, and it just all completely fell apart this game. I mean, defense was awful. Seahawks, you can take Dan Quinn. I don't want him anymore.
We don't want him.
We don't want him either. We don't want him.
Micah Parsons, once again, talks a lot, doesn't do anything in a meaningful game. It's just astonishing to me. Just I don't know if you guys want to jump in on this game, but
I'm loving what I'm hearing so far.
It's just this is just what I've seen my entire time of being a Cowboys fan for the last 16, 17 years. It's been the same thing over and over again. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's Tony Romo, Dak Prescott. It doesn't matter if it's Wade Phillips and Jason Garrett or Mike McCarthy. It's just the same old thing where they consistently underperform in the playoffs. I mean, I mentioned last week that they have an NFL record, 13 straight playoff appearances without reaching conference championship game.
Wow.
Their last 3 playoff games in which they were favored by more than 7 points, including this one, they're 0-3. which is an NFL record. There's just I've seen so many stats, just like how astonishing they're choking in the playoffs has been. Like it defies all common sense, all statistics. It's actually ridiculous.
It seems unlucky.
It does. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, I think this is their worst loss since I was like a kid when they were heavily favored in 2007. They were heavily favored against the Giants. They were favored by 7.5 points. Giants went on to win the Super Bowl, but they beat them there. I think this is their worst loss since then.
Wow.
It's very similar, but nothing in the team it's a different coach. I mean, every single player, every single coach is different, and yet it's the same result. And I don't understand. You don't see this with other teams.
No.
I just don't get it. And Dak, in the Dak era, he's 2-5 in the playoffs straight up, and he's even worse. He's 1-6 against the spread. They like consistently underperform. I mean, all their losses they fall down big at the start. They just feel like they're not there to play like the other teams. They're not prepared. Yeah, I'm just over. You guys can jump in, but I'm done with Mike McCarthy. I hope they let him go. I hope they let go of Dan Quinn, and I hope it's just a new, totally new system next year.
You
So
get
you
rid
just
of
want a
Dak.
clean house.
You get rid of
I
Dak.
do. I don't want to get rid of Dak. He had a great year, and frankly, there's just not a better option.
Sure.
And the Cowboys
Trey
have
Lance,
had. I don't know. I read that the Trey Lance, they have to pick up his 5th-year deal if they want to keep him, and it's like 20 million or something stupid because he was such a high pick.
Wow.
I didn't realize that when they traded for him, but I'm like, what was the point of that? I mean, they gave up a 4th-round pick for him.
That was weird.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, there's some intriguing coaches out there. Bill Belichick.
He's going to Atlanta.
We'll see. Mike Vrabel.
He's I don't know what he's doing.
Even possibly Jim Harbaugh.
Chargers.
We'll see. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot.
Pete Carroll?
I would take any of those 3
Pete Carroll?
above. Yeah, that's tough actually. I have a lot of respect for Pete Carroll, but it would depend on what kind of assistant coaches I guess he brought in. But
Nick Saban.
no,
You don't want Nick Saban?
I don't think so. I mean, he came to the NFL
A long time
and
ago.
was terrible, like absolutely terrible.
It's been a long time.
And then I think he like walked out on I forget what team it was. I think the Dolphins. He just walked out on them in the like middle of the season, went back to college.
Never mind.
We don't want him.
No, you want Kalen DeBoer.
No.
No, nobody
He'll
wants
be there
that.
for 2 years and then he'll go on to a
I
better
would take Belichick, Vrabel, and
You take Mike McDonald. Come on.
Mike McDonald. Who? I don't know.
Ravens DC.
Oh, I didn't know who that was. I don't know. I feel like those coordinators that like from good teams, they go become head coaches. I don't know. How often does that work out?
It seems to work out all the time.
Well, Steichen's doing pretty good on the Colts. You got Glennon,
Yeah,
who seems like he's doing okay with the Cardinals, and then
Matt LaFleur. You got Daniels in Miami. Who's that guy?
Mike McDaniels.
Mike McDaniels.
I don't think he's that great though. I mean, I know their offense was
He
really
seems
good,
to be pretty.
but
If you had a
Who's
better
the coach in,
weapon than Tua,
Jets coach Robert
Saleh.
But all those
Saleh.
guys, their names we know. But like
That's like 8 different
But like,
coordinators.
how good are they? Are they better than average?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd say Mike
so.
McDaniel and
All
Robert Saleh.
the-
I don't think they've proven that yet. They could be.
all the
And Matt
Lions
LaFleur clearly
coordinators are looking to get poached too. So you got Aaron Glenn, who's the DC, Ben Johnson, the OC. Kellen Moore could go somewhere and be a head coach. You want Kellen Moore to return?
He's not ready.
No, thank you.
Actually.
No way. I don't
Kellen
want that
Moore
clown
return to the Cowboys.
Don't be touching this out. You were looking for it.
What else do we have to? You know what's funny about Mike McCarthy too? My one last thing to say about this game. He's two of the most painful playoff losses I've seen was against Mike McCarthy's Packers. You know, like the divisional where Dez didn't catch it. Dak's rookie year, they were the number 1 seed. He's handed me these 2 heartbreaking losses, and then he comes where he outcoached the Cowboys, and then he comes to coach for the Cowboys. He plays his former team, and he finds a way to one up himself. He makes it even worse. You know, it's like you can't make this stuff up. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Wow. Maybe he's a sleeper agent.
I don't know.
I saw some tweets that said that the Cowboys were trying to run the ball a lot compared to throwing. Well, like when the game first started, and that they were also playing zone a lot compared to man, which they were doing most of the time in the regular season. Did you notice that? And was that a gripe of yours as well as you were watching this game?
Yeah, I mean, offensively, yeah, they did run the ball a lot at the start, and then Dak put up. I mean, I think Dak had 0 passing yards in the first quarter and 80 by halftime, and then of course he just got a bunch in garbage time after falling down by 32. But yeah, and then defensively, yeah, they were talking about that on the broadcast, how they were playing a lot of zone, and they were just getting. I mean, if you want to call a zone, just leaving a wide open zone in the middle of the field a couple of times. One of those touchdowns too, I think it was Musgrave, the next gen stats. He was the widest open of any player this season.
Oh no!
It's just like it was just a disaster. I mean, Dan Quinn should have been fired already. I don't know why he's even still there. It's just embarrassing. It's just yeah. But give credit to the Packers. Give credit to the Packers. By the way, the Packers, they're the first number 7 seed to ever win.
Heard that.
Granted, that's only been around for a few years, but
So like 8
still.
years.
I don't know.
Yep.
I'm kind of shocked to see Dan Quinn still getting like as many head coaching jobs.
I am
Or at
sure
least-
they died down.
That's gonna
Well,
be a tough interview question when they ask him
Yeah,
about
like
this
what
game.
happened? Yeah, I don't want him back in Seattle personally. Like he had his time in Atlanta as a head coach, didn't do well there. I'm in Seattle. We got to give a little love to Jordan Love too. I mean, good lord, I feel like he looked like Aaron Rodgers a bit out there. Like he had that kind of that same touch on the ball and just
His
like
arm angles were nuts this game.
yeah, like it just seemed like every throw that he made was just a perfect pass that just allowed the runner or the receivers to just keep running. And oh my gosh, just like Dogs was just unstoppable, and just wasn't a whole lot of tackling on either NFC East game. Not great tackling.
I mean, the Cowboys, they just left so many guys wide open, and Jordan Love, he was incredibly accurate. I mean, he looked amazing this game. I think we've done him a disservice this year. We haven't really talked about him enough. I mean, he had a great year statistically, but kind of, I guess, because they started the season so bad, I think it was
Like
kind of
under the radar.
we didn't pay so much attention, but he looks amazing. It's funny too. I mean, we got two really young, exciting quarterbacks, CJ Stroud, Jordan Love in the playoffs. Did you guys see their stats side by side? It was almost exactly this. They both went 16 for 21 with 3 touchdowns. I think Stroud has slightly more yards, but they were like almost had identical games.
Wow, that's cool. Future of the NFL looks bright, man.
Yeah,
looks bright.
Packers did it again. Packers did it again somehow.
Yeah, I mean it's a winning formula for sure.
I mean, we don't like seeing it as Hawks fans. I don't want to see the Packers move on in the playoffs. Like that's
no, I don't either. I don't like the Packers.
I'm fine with that.
Unfortunately, their future looks bright.
It's a different team to me.
Youngest team to ever win a playoff game.
I know. They're awesome.
All right. How about we fly out to Detroit next, where we had the return of Matthew Stafford taking on his former team, the Lions, not having a playoff win in like 30 years.
Yeah, it's
versus
crazy.
Jared Goff's former team. Like the scriptwriters just kind of went hard on this one, guys.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to watch this with Lions fan 42069.
Nice.
And it was legendary. He was weeping. Weeping, I swear.
It's the biggest win of his life.
Seriously.
So
yeah.
Was it bigger than the Michigan the win?
Well, I wasn't there with him when that happened. And I try to forget that ever happened. So
it's been a good year for Michigan.
That's true.
Yeah, man. I mean, this game was awesome. Just the back and forth. Well, the back and forth at the beginning of the game, and then the second half of the game was just kind of a dud with a combined total of 3 field goals being scored. But man, the Lions, like, they look solid. Like the Rams, though, gave them like kind of a run for their money, as we were all sort of expecting. Like just this being the closest game. I mean, Amon-Ra, like the formula is there. Get Amon-Ra the ball, get Montgomery, get Gibbs the ball, and you're probably going to win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like the big keys for me that I noticed. And then on the other side, you got Puka, 181 yards. Like this, talking about future of the NFL, Puka Nacua is that dude. He's the new Cup with the Rams.
Yeah, Cup had kind of a quiet game, I think, right? He only had like 25 yards or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game I thought was interesting. I mean, like you said, it was just a shootout in the first half and then really quieted down in the second half. What I thought was interesting about this game, comparing their stats, the team stats side by side, both teams had 8 drives, ran 55 plays, went 3 for 9 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down, all identical with both teams.
Wow.
But the difference was, I think the Rams got slightly more yards. But the big difference was the Rams were 0-3 in scoring touchdowns in the red zone, and the Lions were 3 for 3. So I think that was really the difference. The Lions were able to capitalize, score touchdowns. The Rams just kept kicking field goals. Lions look really good. I still just and I think there's very much set up to win next week as well and reach the championship game. But I don't know if I can see them going against the 49ers and finding much success. That's going to be really interesting.
I mean, well,
if it gets there.
Yeah, if it gets there. I don't know. I think that their defense matches up a little bit better than you may think, just with how good
their run defense
is. And I think if they make Brock Purdy have to like make throws, I think they can make him mess up a bit.
That's a good point.
So, but yeah, this secondary is going to have to improve like greatly in order to I think win the Super Bowl. So that's just kind of their weakness right now.
Do you guys think that was pass interference on that third down? Tapuka.
Yeah, I think it was pretty blatant.
I feel like it wasn't as bad as people are making out to be. I don't think it was crazy that they didn't call that. Honestly,
gonna look it up.
yeah, maybe we have to look at it again. I just don't think it's as egregious as people are making it out to be. I actually don't mind the no call. There was a little bit of contact, but I don't think it was that crazy.
Keep going.
That's all I had to say. Are you looking it up?
Are you guys looking it up over there?
Maybe. Continue.
Okay.
No,
Well,
go ahead.
I don't know what else. So the Lions they have another home game next week. They'll be facing where are they facing? The
Buccaneers.
Bucs. No, the Bucs.
Yeah,
Which is I think that'll be an interesting matchup too.
And Lions fans can now take solace in the fact that that game against the Cowboys didn't matter at all.
That's right.
Because they're essentially the second best seed. Well, they are the second best seed now. They get another home game, so it didn't matter. As we look up another questionable call, we gave up.
We're good.
All right,
We'll watch
let's
it
move
after
on
this.
then. All right, let's move on. Let's go to the Bills Steelers. The Bills. This is kind of a weird game. All of the environment here was awesome. 31-17. I saw so many people jumping through tables on fire. That was awesome.
Whoa.
I was actually at this game. I jumped through a table on fire.
Yeah.
It was the best day of my life. No, I mean, this was kind of I thought this was going to be a bigger blowout than this final score showed, because how it was looking was that the Bills were just going to run away with it. I think I sent in our group chat that I should have put an alternate spread down for this game of like plus 30 or something, or minus 30 for the Bills just to blow out the Steelers. I mean, but the Steelers kind of made it a game.
Yeah, you're right.
I saw this funny, I saw this quote from, I think it was from Najee Harris, where like typically the Bills have been playing like in a too high defensive formation. They brought a guy down to start covering the run more. And Najee was asked like, oh, like we noticed what they, how they changed their defensive formation. What did you do to adjust? And he goes, oh, we just ran the ball more because it didn't do anything. So, I mean, the fact that the Steelers even got this far, I think is an astonishment. It's amazing, but yeah, we all expected this to happen.
I think we need to call into question your sanity when you say Tomlin's a better head coach than Belichick. If this is the outcome every year, even if they make the playoffs, whatever.
Dog, are you kidding me?
No!
He had Mason Rudolph.
Back up your take, bro.
Rudolph. He had Mason Rudolph. I mean, the fact that they made it this far with Mason Rudolph, with no TJ Watt in this game.
Bro, people are asking him, are you even coming back next? Did you hear that? You got to ask that. He's like,
yeah, and he already said he's coming back. He said he's coming back.
just walked away. He didn't even answer.
Yeah, and then afterwards he said, no, I'm back, because he doesn't want to deal with this crap.
And they said, nah, you're ass.
Dude, Tomlin would be an amazing coach on a different organization. Put him on the Patriots, he'll double what Belichick did. Book it.
With his Patriots team?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He will take Mac Jones to the Hall of Fame, baby.
I'm in the middle here where Mike Tomlin, he did take not a very good team to the playoffs this year. He's nowhere close to Belichick.
I know.
Yeah, nowhere close. But yeah, I mean, there's no way Mason Rudolph is going into Buffalo and beating these Bills. They had no chance. It wasn't. I mean, the Bills went up like 21-0, right?
Yeah.
And then Steelers kind of came back, but so maybe not a huge blowout, but Bills still covered. I mean, still beat them by 14. There were a lot of good highlights this game, like the Josh Allen 50-yard run.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And then that Khalil Shakur touchdown was kind of nasty.
Never saw it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's looking nice. Broke a couple tackles.
Yeah, it was nice. So yeah, that Bills offense, they're perfectly balanced this game. Not perfectly, but they had about 200 pass yards, 200 rush yards. Very balanced offense. I don't know what to make. I mean, their defense. You are playing the Steelers offense, so there's not a whole lot to say there. But
I mean, Pickens didn't do anything. Thank God. Hate that guy. I mean,
yeah, he had a fumble.
That's not true. He threw his helmet at a water cooler.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a highlight for sure.
That's his highlight of the game.
I mean, I think the defense is looking pretty good for the Bills. I mean, they were kind of sus. Kind of talked about this going into this game. I think the Bills' defense has really stepped up, and they're still holding the Steelers haven't been a terrible offense of late. So,
and honestly, the Bills should have had one more turnover. There's that weird play where Freiermuth like fumbled.
Yeah, that was weird.
They said like it hit like his helmet. I think it hit the ball while he was going out of bounds, and so then they ruled it out of bounds. I think it was just that whole interaction was very strange. But yeah, I mean, I think the Bills, like especially like hosting a home game with the Chiefs, like I mean, KDawg was saying he thinks a little differently now, but I still like the Bills' chances here with this being at home. I mean, the Bills are gonna be rowdy. They're gonna be throwing snowballs at Patrick Mahomes. They're gonna be throwing snowballs at Taylor Swift up in the box.
True, dude. You think she'll be there?
No, I don't
I'm
think so.
camping out to see. I'm actually going to this
You're
game
going to that
just for Taylor watch.
You guys are making a lot of trips to Buffalo lately, huh?
And I'm jumping through a table while I'm there, baby. On fire.
I'm going there in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. You got that shift?
He'll be there for the championship.
Right.
Dang.
When they host the
Wow. And then when they host the Super Bowl, I'll be there.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't we all go?
They can't host the Super Bowl, bro.
I thought you were smoking.
Is it SoFi?
No.
They might. I think it's in Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
Is it Allegiant? Oh, gross.
No, it's in a soccer stadium there.
Okay. All right, let's go to the last game. We already briefly covered this. Bucs versus the Eagles. Bucs winning, dominating the Eagles 32-9. Get rid of Sirianni.
Talk about a clown show. Come on. Get him out of here.
Did you feel, was this therapeutic for you watching this game at all? Or like at least seeing the score, the finale of it? Like, was it
Honestly,
therapeutic in a way?
No, it wasn't.
Were you rooting for the Eagles?
I mean, no. No, I was rooting for the Bucs for sure. Like I said, it made me feel a little better at the start of this episode. Honestly, that's not really true. I mean, nothing can change what happened on Sunday. The Eagles, they weren't a contender this year. They were going to lose eventually. It's nice to see them lose like this. I mean, they look like a mess. So yeah, that feels good, but doesn't fix the Cowboys' problems.
The state of the NFC East next year might be a hot mess. Like we might go back to the era where the NFC East is just like that one trash.
Are you gonna double down on your Giants winning the division?
I might.
Actually, that's not bad now.
It's pretty bad.
Well, they need.
The Cowboys and Eagles are still gonna be good next year. They're still gonna win 9-10 games.
Sorry, he cast some delusion.
Well, actually, we don't know about the Eagles. I don't know.
I think the Eagles will be fine.
I don't know.
They still got the talent there on offense, at least.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts. I mean, he had quite a down year as compared to a year ago.
He'll be back.
But the year they went to the Super Bowl was the only good year he's had in his career.
He's only been playing for like 4 years.
I know.
What are you talking about?
He's been bad in all the other ones.
So. No, he hasn't.
He has.
No, he hasn't.
His stats his last year were significantly better than anything he's
the year before when he was a rookie or a sophomore. Mm-hmm. Come on.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm kind of on that train. I think Jalen Hurts ain't it.
Oh my God, you guys are clowns.
He's kind of dookie. Like the fact that you even called MVP for him, yikes.
All right, now I know he's just playing. Let's go. Let's move on.
Okay, well, first we got to talk about Bakey one more time, just because my take was hot and it basically hit. We'll call it a hit.
No, no,
dude. I mean, Baker was just bombing it.
I thought you had to get 4 touchdowns.
Loading the football into the cannon, shooting it off.
Didn't you say 4 touchdowns?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
And honestly, he should have had, like, Evans had some bad drops right at the goal line. Like, perfect ball, he just drops it right through his hands. I was like, ugh, Mike Evans, you're killing my smoking hot take. I don't know why you don't want to talk about him more. Vita Vea looking like a dude.
He's looking like a snack. He always has.
He is a dude.
Because he gets sack, baby.
You know what's crazy is right now, like the NFC North is looking like, are they the only division with 2 teams remaining? I think they are.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Wow. So NFC North.
Oh no, you got yeah, I think you're right.
So that's pretty wild. But we'll see if that remains after this week. Okay.
Wait, yeah.
All right, we're moving on. All right, so quick contest update. So if any of you amazing listeners, entered our ESPN Pigskin Playoff NFL Challenge bracket, there's 23 in the group, so this is awesome to see the turnout for this. We calculated and did all the standings for the first week, and
we're actually doing 23 free merch giveaway. No, I'm playing. Keep going.
So I was just gonna shout out TG Mango, one of 23 people to have a perfect bracket. Called the Packers.
Yeah, I was
called the Texans. Although TG Mango also picked the Texans to win the whole damn thing.
Yeah, it's not looking too crazy anymore.
It's not looking too crazy, but it's also not looking too great.
If they beat the Ravens, what are you gonna say then?
Yeah, then it looks pretty good.
All right.
So
one game at a time.
Mango's he's in first all by himself, so that's awesome to see. And then in second, there's currently 9 individuals tied for second. some names you might recognize. There's myself, Jay. There's Coop. There's
Ayo.
Lions fan 42069's in there. Broncos fan 42069's in there. And then a few other people that
I think Niner fan for
Niners fan 42069's in there. So, and then we got KDawg. Unfortunately,
I was gonna say I didn't hear one.
KDawg at the bottom, currently in second to last.
After winning the regular season, most picks, I'm just like my team where I just can't perform in the playoffs, I guess. 2-4, it's over. I had the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, which, by the way, I didn't actually think they would do that.
Come on.
I thought they would go to the championship game, and then I just went ahead and just went for it. And
you had to, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my bracket is busted right now, for sure.
Yeah, KDawg was defeated, and so a couple more weeks. Well, 3 more weeks. So we'll see who claims victory there. But yeah, shout out TG Mango again for doing it, for being the dude right now. All right, anything else you guys want to say before we jump in to the divisionals?
No.
I'll take that as a no. All right, first game. Houston's visiting the Baltimore Ravens on the 20th of January. They are currently, looks like some books got them as the 9-point underdog, 9.5-point underdog. And yeah, do you guys think CJ Stroud is going to keep up the hotness and start to dice up another great defense in this Baltimore Ravens defense? You have Mike McDonald, this guy that Coop keeps apparently he just keeps sucking off. He really likes this guy. Wants as our head coach.
Is Mark Andrews going to be back?
Looks like it. Is Isaiah likely going to be there too?
That's all I needed to know.
I mean, all right, I'll just go. I'm picking the Houston Texans for this game. I'm getting spicy here. This is my hot take, my hot game of the week. Because you know what?
All right.
I like the momentum that the Houston Texans have been building. I mean, dicing up the Browns, that's no easy task, right? We've been saying all of their defensive metrics first in all these different categories. And honestly, I think Lamar Jackson's getting a little cold. He had a little bye week. He just was sitting on his butt, not really doing anything, not keeping those legs warm, because you know what? Those legs are about all he's good for. Running that ball up and down the field. So I just think he's not going to be quite prepared for this game. Houston Texans might scheme him out a little bit. I'm calling for a down game on Lamar Jackson. And I'm calling for a big game for CJ Stroud.
You want to know why he just said everything he just said? Because if there was a remote chance that he even hit this thing, if he hit this, he would not shut up about it for life. He was like, oh, call the downfall, Lamar. That's why he's picking this. I was wondering why you're doing this. And then he started spouting off about Lamar and the Ravens. And I said, okay, this is a biased pick, obviously. And it's setting you up for something big in return. Because, we're not going to fault you for not picking the Ravens because we know. But the risk reward is great for this one. I got to pick the Ravens here. I think people get caught up in the hype of these teams. Like, what happened to you guys with the Browns, all that stuff. It's like, you think this team's better than it is. I mean, Stroud's really good. He's really proven that. But I think it's probably going to be a little too early for him. I mean, he's still a rookie. I would love to see this happen. But I think the Ravens D is just going to be too good, especially at home. Texas has been playing. They just played at home in nice weather. I mean, Baltimore's going to be pretty dang cold. They're used to playing up there. I think it's going to be a tough game for Stroud. And if he ends up getting the upset, this is going to be a legacy, legendary game for him. Should be fun to watch, but I got to go Ravens still.
Yeah, I mean, that's a smart pick for sure. I was looking at this weekend. We got 3 really big favorites, but this is a playoffs. Upsets happen, and to me, the Texans this week are the team I feel most comfortable with picking that upset, and I'm going with them. I mean, like Prophet, I thought I'd be alone on this, but it's nice to leave. We're gonna leave Coop behind, so that'll be nice.
That's fine.
I mean, like Prophet Jay said, this Texans team just carved up a number 1 Browns defense. Granted, 14 of those points were
exactly
on the other side, but still. And then you have, you look at the Ravens. They're number 1 in yards allowed, points per game allowed. Number 1 in takeaways. Number 1 in sacks. I believe they're the first team to ever lead the league in all 3 of those categories. But the Texans actually match up fairly well against that. I mean, they're top of the league in scoring points. They're first in the NFL with only 14 giveaways, so they take care of the ball. They're middle of the road against protecting against against sacks, but I think that's a little misleading with guys like Davis Mills and Case Keenum playing a couple games. I looked at those; they got sacked a lot. So I think that the Texans are able to kind of counter that Ravens defense. And the Ravens, we look at some of these teams that have a history of choking in the playoffs. The Ravens are one of them. A few years ago in 2019, Ravens were 14-2, number one seed, 10-point favorites over the visiting Titans. They lost 28-12. I kind of see this as potentially being a repeat of that. And CJ Stroud just looks incredible. There's been 5 rookies prior to him to make the conference championship, and I think, including Brock Purdy, by the way.
Mhm.
Wow, I think CJ's got a chance here.
Nice. I mean, it's gonna be. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be a hell of a game to watch. I expect all these games to be really good. But yeah, I just think the Ravens are gonna edge it out. Like you say, you always bring up these stats. Why these things keep happening? It's like whenever I hear that, it's like I feel like there's gonna be an end to it. Like Lamar and the Ravens choking the playoffs. I just think it's his year. He's been playing really well. And Stroud's got plenty of time to come back and do this all again. Just it's not gonna happen
Well, why
this
not
time.
just do it the first year? Why not just
I mean,
get it
yeah,
done in the first?
I would love to watch that happen. So I'm here for it, but I'm gonna be a realist on this one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm a
I hear
realist
you.
too.
I hear
I'm a
you.
realist too.
I just think because you guys got so burned by picking the Browns, you're like, man, we gotta go with these guys.
I got nothing to lose at this point, man. I got nothing to lose. I picked the Browns. They didn't make it. I'm staying on
All
this
right, let's
train that
roll.
Lamar's not going to do it. All right. Let's go over to California. Let's go to San Francisco, where the Packers are visiting the Niners. And similar to the last game, looks like the Packers are about a 9-point underdog. So I'll just jump in. This one's a little bit more open and shut for me. Coop, I don't know why you're shaking your head. But the Niners are going to win this football game. I mean, the reality is Jordan Love, he had a great game. I expect him to still play pretty well in this. I do think that, Aaron Jones was looking healthy. He was looking explosive. And I expect them just to have a great overall game. However, I just don't think they have the defensive weapons to match up against a lot of the different 49ers players. And honestly, this defense that the 49ers have is significantly better, sorry, KDawg, than what the boys have to offer. So I don't think that they'll just get a lot of free open balls where Jordan Love can just dunk it into them. So give me the Niners.
Yeah, I completely agree. I am very interested to see how Jordan Love and the Packers respond, like how they follow up that dominating win. But I don't know. This is a different, like you said, this is a different defense. This is a different team in the 49ers. And they're well rested, coming off the bye, whereas the Packers just gave it their all in this previous game. I think the 49ers win easily. I don't think it's going to be close. I think this is going to be a blowout.
All right, I guess I'll jump in. And I think maybe this is my game.
This is so much worse if you actually call this.
Why?
This is way worse.
Why?
Why? Because the boys did not show up to play last. They were not. They did not exist. They were.
KDawg
they
over
were
here
ghosts.
said. KDawg over here said the Green Bay Packers gave it their all. They didn't have to do squat against the Cowboys. They made it look easy. They are fired up, ready to go, well rested. They're gonna go in. They went down south, play the Cowboys. They're gonna go back down south, play the Niners, and they're gonna win. I'm gonna be Jimmy Johnson in there at halftime saying, I'm gonna kick your rear end if you don't get your button gear and do what you're supposed to do. I don't know. I could just see this being upset. I think Love looked crazy. It's like, these picks don't really matter, but I don't know. Give me Love.
All right. I mean, that would be just crazy if the Packers win this game.
It'd be crazy if the Texans beat the Ravens.
It just feels more.
This is crazier
likely.
to me. This is crazier to me, but both would be. Yeah. Imagine the CJ Stroud Jordan Love Super Bowl.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, that'd be awesome. All right, let's go to Detroit. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers riding in their pirate ships up into Lionville, where they are the
Lake Michigan.
Yeah, they're riding through the rivers, the Mississippi, to get up to Michigan, parking in Lake Michigan, and then I don't know. I don't know my Guys, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention in United States geography. I'm not gonna lie. Did you?
Yeah, keep going, bro. I mean, you're good.
Okay. Well, I was just asking. I was trying to ask it how your geography knowledge is, but
I mean, it's superior, like
Yeah,
the lake.
I'd say it's better. I'd say it's better than yours.
all right.
Is it like
Detroit's
Detroit on
a
Lake
6-point
Michigan?
favorite here.
I think it's
Pretty sure that's why I said it.
it is. Yeah.
What?
Detroit's a 6-point favorite here. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, kid. One of you guys, you lead on.
I got the Lions. All right, go ahead. Enough said, baby. Give me the Lions. I'm riding them.
What about the Buccaneers? You guys just picked the Buccaneers to win a big game last week, and you're not gonna. Well, I guess
It's not the same caliber of team. The Lions are a different animal. They're gonna be stopping the run game, so Baker's gonna have to make a lot of throws. And I feel like just over time, if he's making a lot more throws, he's gonna mess up.
Yeah.
More often than not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Lions secondary is not that
capitalize.
great.
I know, but
You know, there is a world where the Buccaneers win this game.
Yeah.
But it might be one of those fantasy worlds where they can take a river up to Detroit from Tampa Bay, like Prophet J described.
You have to go west first. West
Yeah, this is just yeah. I mean, the Lions should win. They're heavy favorites. This is exactly what they wanted—a home game against the Buccaneers. You know, I mean, the matchup. It's just I don't think the Buccaneers will be able to slow down that Lions offense. And then on the flip side, you know, the Lions defense, you know, they'll stop the run, make Baker beat them, and I don't think he'll find the same kind of success that he did a week ago.
Yeah, I'm on the Lions side here too. I really want to take the Bucs because I just love watching Baker Mayfield play football. Because he's got that swag, he's got the charisma, and it just sounds like he's just playing loose. He's not being controlled by all these.
You see a little bit of yourself in him.
I wish I could. He's too cool. I'm not cool enough to be a Baker Mayfield.
Wow,
that guy's
awesome. Humble J today.
That guy's when it comes to Baker Mayfield, I don't mess around. But I don't think Baker Mayfield's got the sauce to take on the Lions. I mean, they just outside of that secondary, like they're firing on all cylinders, man. Like when the pass isn't working, the run game's working. Like really it's the same thing we've been saying, in my opinion, for like the last few weeks, is that as long as Jared Goff doesn't throw a couple picks, like they can win this game. I expect this to be a pretty high scoring game. So it's just a matter of, can the Lions hold on to the ball, control the clock, and not let Baker bomb it out? Because he is going to get, in my mind, he's going to get at least a couple plays where he's throwing the ball 50-plus yards to Evans, Godwin, David Moore, Trey Palmer, KDawg. So, no, give me the Lions, though. Like, they're moving on to the NFC Championship in my mind. I'm pretty confident about that. So, last game of the weekend, we have the Chiefs visiting Buffalo, take on the Bills. They're a 3-point underdog. KDawg, you want to go on this one?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start this off on another upset. I got the Chiefs over the Bills in this one. Now, a week ago when we did our playoff brackets, I had the same matchup and I had the Bills. My bracket's done for. Maybe I shouldn't refer to what I said before. I'm just getting everything wrong. I don't feel like I learned anything about the Bills and their matchup against the Steelers. Not that that's a bad thing, but I don't think I learned much. But I do feel like I learned something about the Chiefs against the Dolphins. The way that offense looked. We talked about it earlier with Rashee Rice, Pacheco. The way that defense is playing. I mean, they essentially, outside of that deep ball to Tyreek Hill, the Dolphins did nothing on offense. Granted, I know it was very cold, but still, I mean, the Chiefs just look like a very well-rounded team. The Bills, on the flip side, you know, they have a history under Josh Allen. They don't win these games. You know, outside of the, you know, I know that overtime game against the Chiefs a couple years ago was a close game. But otherwise, I mean, last year they played the Bengals. Bills were at home. They lost 27-10. And that was just totally unexpected. Are the Bills really a better team since a year ago? I don't know that they are. I don't know. I just have a feeling. I think we'll see some Chiefs magic this game, and I think we will see an upset. But it should be, you know, this is the best game of the week for sure.
I think the only way we see an upset is if there's a little ref ball going on. I like these Bills. They just got a different vibe about them. I mean, they had Prophet J and I jumping through tables, you know, for these Bills.
I'll do it again.
You haven't done it yet, though. You're doing it this week.
I did it at home. But yeah, I still got the Bills. I just hate the Chiefs. So I can't pick them here.
Good
But I
logic.
also think the Chiefs are playing another team that's built for the cold. I don't think it was a good like indication of how this Chiefs team can play when they're playing against the Dolphins, who literally came up from Miami where it's like 80 and they had to play in negative 50. The Bills playing that too, and I think it's gonna be a much better game. I think it's still be probably close, but this time, like you always like to bring up these historical pieces where it's like, oh, so and so has never lost in this, blah blah, and then I just think this is a game that's going to end that for Josh Allen, his thing with the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well,
So
it would also be ending Mahomes' AFC Championship
there you
streak
go.
too.
It's time to end.
Is it
These
so?
things end at some point. Let's call it early.
All right.
Let's call it now.
Yeah, I like this one ending too. I'm sticking. I called the Bills last week. I'm sticking with them here as well. I mean, they're used to these cold conditions. It's still going to be cold. The Chiefs, like this is a rivalry we've been seeing for back and forth for years and years, and the Chiefs have owned the Bills. But as you guys are saying, I kind of like the momentum swaying to the Bills. Honestly, like you look at their stats, they don't really have anything that like to me really I can point to and say, oh, this is why they won the game. Like everyone's just playing a clean version of football. Josh Allen is not turning the ball over, which has been my biggest critique just of his game. Like you're throwing 2 picks a game, like that's something I wouldn't even do. So if I'm not going to do it, why would Josh Allen be doing it? You guys understand where I'm coming from here? So
definitely.
yeah, so as long as again no turnovers, let's get James Cook involved. Like, and it's kind of interesting too because these teams are starting to match up like pretty similarly just in terms of their offensive chemistry. Like you have like the 2 main quarterbacks who are the dudes. You have Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. You got Pacheco and Cook, who are kind of both the dudes there, and then you kind of have like your one alpha receivers, which I don't know if I can necessarily call Rashee Rice an alpha receiver, but he kind of is for the Chiefs. And then you got Dalton Kincaid, who honestly is playing at kind of a similar level in my mind that Travis Kelce is. So, really offensively, these guys match up pretty darn well. And it's really going to be on the defensive side of the ball that is going to be, in my mind, the differentiator for this game. But I think the Bills have a slightly better defense right now. So give me the Bills.
I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be outplayed by Josh Allen. I think Pat's going to be the one that turns over a couple of balls that you would expect Josh Allen to do. I'll call that here. Okay.
All right.
I don't know. 2?
We'll see.
2?
Yeah, sure. I'll take 2.
I mean, we've seen this game earlier in the year, and the Bills won, right? I think almost all these are rematches. The Ravens beat the Texans week 1. Lions beat the Buccaneers early in the year. So
They played?
Who did?
Lions and Bucs?
I think so.
They did. Yeah,
I read that today. It was a blowout, I think. It's a lot of rematches here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Chiefs Bills the most, I think.
Nice.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Lamar Jackson's downfall the most, personally. But you guys already knew that. All right, KDawg, you want to walk us through your power rankings here? Top 8?
Yeah, so we're down to 8 teams left. Number 8, I think we'll all be the same here. I got the Buccaneers. No disrespect to the Buccaneers. They had a really impressive win wildcard weekend, but they don't deserve to be ahead of these other teams. Number 7, I have the Texans, dominating win over the Browns. Number 6, I have the Packers. They just looked amazing against the Cowboys. I have them over the Texans simply because I think their performance was better last week, although I do have the Texans winning this weekend.
Against the
Because I
number
think
one
their
team you have,
matchup is easier.
Okay.
Lions at number 5. Bills at number 4. Chiefs at number 3 because they're beating them. Number 2, I'm actually putting the Ravens.
Whoa.
Simply because I don't trust them as much in the playoffs, and I did choose them to lose this week. And number 1, I have the 49ers. I think they're going to roll over the Packers. And
who would pick the Packers, bro?
Yeah, I don't know.
This guy. Because I got them at number 1. No, okay. So number 8, the Bucs. 7, Chiefs. 6, Packers. So I have them pretty high. 5, the Texans. 4, Lions. 3, Bills. 2, Niners. And number 1, Ravens.
Nice. Mine sounds pretty similar to yours, Coop. So I got 8 Bucs.
There you go.
Same reason as KDawg. No disrespect, but I think the other teams just played better. 7, I got the Packers. 6, I got the Chiefs. 5, I have the Texans. 4, the Lions. 3, Bills. 2, Niners. 1, Ravens. I should have dropped to the Ravens. I didn't really think about that when you said that, KDawg. I was like, oh, that was really smart because I have the upside as well. But up until this week, they've been playing like the best team, so I'll leave them as the best team. I guess if I have to. I don't want to, but I will.
Okay.
Yeah, for a big Lamar hater, you've had him number one for quite some time.
True.
Respect is due at some points, but I will be excited to drop him off this list here next Tuesday.
Nice.
Time for our
Smoking hot takes.
All right. Well, this is our third to last chance this year to get it right, guys. So I'm curious what you guys have. I'm doubling down on my big upset of the week in the Texans beating the Ravens. Not only will the Texans beat the Ravens, CJ Stroud will have another 3-touchdown plus performance, and the Texans are going to get another pick 6 this week.
Oh, I like that. How about a fumble 6?
Maybe. I don't know. I picked the pick 6 just to carry off the last weekend, but yeah, I think if they're going to win this game, they're going to force Lamar to make mistakes, and maybe it'll end in points. We'll see.
Wow. Impressive. I'll go next. So I'm actually going to do a holistic approach to this. Over this whole weekend, these 4 matchups are going to be the closest ever. I think all these games end at least one possession each.
Okay.
So either a field goal or 6 touchdown.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't like that one.
Why?
How about like give us a point total for all the games, like, or what's the difference between the winner and the loser for all games?
You want me to pick the score basically?
No. So like, you think it's going to be like 30, like 24 or less, or like, I don't know,
Yeah,
like
12
or less.
times 6. I'll say 24 or less.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, in a
I don't know
week
if that's
in a week in which there's 3 like 9+ point favorites, I think that's pretty bold.
Yeah.
I don't see it going that way.
I think all these are gonna be close.
I'm a little sus on this one, but
Why?
whatever. That's fine. Do you, man. I don't know. It just doesn't feel hot.
I just said it's gonna be the lowest spread ever.
Ever?
How are we going to measure that?
I'm sure if it is, you're gonna hear about it. Trust me.
All right.
We don't have to do the work on this one.
All right.
You're just gonna hear about it.
All right. Well, smokers, don't worry. My smoking.
Do you think Lions and Bucs is going to be close?
Yeah, I do. I think all these games have a real good shot of being within 3 points.
Okay. Well, mine's a lot simpler than yours, Coop. So I'm going to
Add
Detroit.
the differentials.
I'm going to Detroit. Yeah,
Jesus.
some people aren't great at math, Okay, I'm going to Detroit, and I am picking the Lions side of the ball, and I think that Amon-Ra St. Brown will have a 200+ yard game with a tutty.
That's it? Only 1 touchdown.
That's it.
I don't think that's hot enough.
Really? 200 yards?
It's got to be 2 touchdowns for sure.
We'll take 200 yards and a tutty. That's my smoking hot take.
All right. What do you think?
I'm
surprised you would only have 1 touchdown.
What, you want what, like 250 yards? Like
no, I'm just surprised
yards?
you would only have 1 touchdown in that whole thing. Like,
well, I just don't think that will hit.
Because if he gets 2 touchdowns and 200, you don't hit.
Okay, 1+ touchdowns.
No, you can't do that. Whatever.
No, 1 touchdown. Give me 1. Because Gibbs, Montgomery, Laporta.
Wait, you're adding more out of this?
No, I'm just saying the reason why I'm only doing 1 is I think those guys will get touchdowns. But I'm not adding that to the smoking hot take. That's not official. Don't record that.
So what are you going to do when you hit back-to-back smoking hot takes? Because you hit your last one. So what are you going to do when you hit this?
I think I'm just going to retire from the podcast.
Thank God.
We'll get C-Dubs on. C-Dubs can fill in for me. Everyone will be so much happier. It'll be a much better pod without me.
I will.
All right. Well, fellas, that's a shorter episode today. Shorter episode as we wind down the season. Do you guys have anything else you want to add in?
No, thanks for having that conversation with me earlier, King Jay. I know you're not Prophet Jay, but we love your input. We love hearing from everybody in the audience. Just throw out a comment every once in a while. We're going to respond and have a good time doing it. So just follow those socials. You guys are a part of this just as much as we are,
Wow, that's really wholesome. That was cute.
I was.
Thank you, Coop.
Just saying.
I've never heard him get so real.
I just like to say good luck to, I forget the username, but whoever is number 1 in our
TG Mango.
TG Mango in our bracket. Good luck to you. That's pretty hard going 6 for 6 last week.
Yeah. If you had parlayed that, man, you would have made some bang.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Texans going to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. That's gonna be tough, but best of luck.
They're going to beat the Ravens, so why can't they beat the Niners?
If we have the one guy maybe in the country who goes 13 for 13 on this, that could do good for our podcast.
Dang.
So
It's only 13 picks.
I think so, right?
That's crazy.
I think that's what I remember.
That doesn't seem like very many.
No.
I quickly want to call out and say whoever decided to name their bracket, good lord, the Prophet, and is at the bottom of the leaderboard in the Smoking Hot Takes group. You're a fraud.
I thought that was yours, man.
No, it's not me. It's not me. You do not deserve the name Prophet. So whoever you are, you should feel ashamed for yourself. But thank you for listening.
That's kind of weird because you found yourself at the bottom of a regular season.
Well,
Wow.
KDawg, if there was 23 people in that one, I probably would have been at least third. So
At least, yeah.
Yikes. Third's still pretty bad around here.
okay, all right. Well, yeah, let's start getting out of here. What's our word of the day? What did we say it was?
Jay Black. Jay Black.
You know what to do with that.
You know what to do. The sleeper agent has been activated.
And if you don't, go back a couple ups and you'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get out of here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in to Smoking Hot Takes. We'll be back here next Tuesday to talk through the winners of the Divisionals this weekend. And appreciate the support. Check out the socials, like Coop said. And best of luck with your pick'ems. And we will catch y'all later. Smoking.
Morgan.
Smoking.